Welcome to the Quimby Chronicles Momcast, where we talk about all things motherhood, family, and keeping your sanity through it all. On today's episode, we're talking about grocery prices gone wild, how we're feeding our families, budgeting in this economy, and finding ways to make it stretch without losing our minds. Ready to join the conversation? Come on in.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Quimby Chronicles Momcast, where you guys already know that we keep it real and relatable on this side. I'm Shantae, and of course we are here today with my mom, Tracy.
Hey y'all, hey Shantae. So yes, welcome back to another chat with us. And today we talking about something that has been on everybody's minds. These grocery store prices, okay? Because they were high before, but now they were rambunctious. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. It's grocery store prices and how much it takes, like what it takes for us to be able to feed our families.
So today we're going to be breaking down what's really going on, the real life impact, and how we are making it work. So go ahead and grab your snacks, your drinks, coffee, tea, soda, water, wine, anything that you please, and we're going to come on and talk about it.
Right, let's do it. So I remember when I used to be able to go into the grocery store, honey, with $100 and come out with bags, not a bag, multiple bags with $100. These days, baby, you go in that grocery store with $100, you coming out with vibes and 2 packs of chicken. That's it. Okay, there is no such thing as grocery shopping with $100 anymore because these prices too high. Sure.
And I'm going to share a quick story with you guys. I just want you guys to know how bad I miss not being responsible for a whole household. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. It's fun being an adult. You know, I got my kids, whatever, vibes are there. But the cost of groceries, like, we went to the store, and normally when we go to the store, we get like the twin packs of eggs that, you know, they sell at like Walmart or whatever, because we don't Publix or anything like that anymore. So it's either Walmart or Sam's that we normally get our eggs from, because we go through quite a few. I'm not going to lie. We eat them for breakfast pretty much every day. But the price of eggs in this economy, it was actually sickening. Like, I physically felt my stomach drop to my ankles
Right.
when I saw everything is these days. The eggs, the milk, the bread, the loaf bread, the regular loaf bread. Like, why are we doing this? You would think the bread is gonna hop out and jump into the toaster itself and butter itself on my plate for what they're trying to charge. Like, this is actually ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. This is ridiculous.
You know, and the thing is, both Shantae and I are in the category where we don't get any benefits, any extra benefits for anything. So I can only imagine what a struggle. I mean, I'm a single mom, so and it's definitely a struggle for me. There's 6 of us that live in the household, and if we spend less than $600 a month on groceries, we're doing good. We're doing good. Yes. $600, honey. If we spend less than $600 a month on groceries, we're lucky. So I can't even imagine. And, I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like, you know, I'm struggling or anything like that. I mean, I'm not rich, but I can be honest with myself and know that I am way more fortunate than a lot of other people. I've had a lot more things happen in my favor that allow me to be, financially at the place where I am. But for me, it's still a struggle. And don't talk about wanting to eat healthy. That's a whole nother something in its entirety. So, people that are single moms that are working 2 and 3 jobs to try to take care of their families, people with big families, which, people would still consider my family a family of 6. And then, the folks that are on the SNAP EBT programs and stuff like that. I mean, it's all, we all got our own struggles, okay? We all got our own struggles. So next we're going to talk about what's really going on, why these prices are so high, and how it affects everybody. So Shantae, take it away.
All right, guys. So now we're going to talk about what's really going on. And we're going to talk about why these prices are so high. If you guys know what's going on in the country right now, there's the inflation, the supply chain issues, there's the whole disconnect with the supply and demand relationship. There's a lot going on because you have certain groups of workers going on strike, and then you have other groups where they're needing to be replaced because those jobs used to belong to other people that are no longer here, which we're not going to get into that, but you guys know how all of that goes. So when they're needing to replace these people and there's no one to do these jobs, they're just going to start charging more and more and more for these things, trying to keep up with their money, because by the time that they're trying to get these people replaced, then all this food that they're planning on getting out to wherever is going bad, spoiling, just not being able to be sold anymore, which is losing them money. And we all know that they don't like that. So they're just going to be charging more, and there's not really much that we can do about it, honestly. So it's honestly insane at this point.
Absolutely. And the sad part is that the people who are affected the most are the people who need the most help. The people that are affected the most are low income families and middle class families. I remember, growing up when middle class was the place to be. You comfortable, you got what you need, and a few little wants. These days, child, please. Middle class is poor, okay? Middle class is the working poor. And I heard somebody say that years ago, and no statement has been more true. Because, most working class families are living paycheck to paycheck, and you're already living paycheck to paycheck. You're already stretched thin. And then here comes inflation. Here comes corporate greed, where the companies raise the prices because they know the demand is going to be more because of the supply chain issues. Like, it's just a whole toxic cycle. And the people who need the most help are the people who are being affected the most. So that's the crazy part about it, is that you have people who are out of touch with what it's really like to get out here and grocery shop. People who have no idea how much a dozen eggs costs, but will sit here and be like, oh, egg price falling too low. Because where you shopping at? Because where I'm at, they still high. I don't really know what you're talking about. So I don't know where that person gets their super discount eggs from, talking about egg prices are falling too low. But they could send some of those falling too low eggs to me, because we could use a break from the $5, $6, $7, $8 a dozen for the eggs. But just saying.
And at the end of the day, it's not always, just about the food. You have like mental health coming in, you have the meal stress, and you have the guilt. It's like, oh man, these are now $5 more expensive than they used to be. I'm not sure if we can get these, whether that's, like something like fruit snacks or applesauce or yogurts or anything like that. It's like, man, I know my kids love to eat these every day, but it's getting out of my budget. I'm thankful that I, don't really have to worry about stuff like that, but that's that's a real problem.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is a real problem. Like, there's people that'll put back stuff because things are just getting too expensive these days.
I mean, and and that's real. The thing is, what comes along with that is that guilt, because you want to feed your kids healthy. You want to feed them healthy, but it's hard because the healthy stuff is more expensive than the not so healthy stuff. Because why can I go to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4? But then the salad costs $6.72. Okay, I don't know how much the salad costs for real, but I know it costs more than the 4 for $4. Okay,
With tax.
I don't know how much it costs for real, but I know it's $4. I can tell you that. So that's the thing. It's crazy. I could get a burger. I could get chicken nuggets. I could get a fry. And what is it? A drink, a soda for $4. But just a salad is gonna cost me more than $4. So then I'm supposed to be thirsty with my salad. I'm not supposed to get nothing to drink with my salad.
No, no.
And I mean, and if you real slick,
The lettuce hold you.
okay, if you're with it and it's just you and a kid, Y'all can split that 4 for $4, okay? Because you can get the burger, y'all split the fries, you get a kid the nuggets, and y'all split the drink. $4, you and your kid are fed. But the
Boom.
salad, which the kid is gonna pick out all the lettuce and just want to eat just the meat, or if you have fruit in it, they want to eat just the meat, and then you done spent $7, $8. Y'all both still thirsty, so you probably gotta drink water. It's a whole debacle. It's a whole debacle. So, and that's where I run into issues because, for those of you that don't know, my sister's battling breast cancer. And so we try to stay away from the foods that bioengineered ingredients. And we try to stay away from the stuff that have the GMOs in it and stuff like that. But it is so expensive. And I mean, you be like, in some instances, the organic stuff is only $1 more than the regular stuff. But then you multiply that by 100 items. You multiply that by 50 items, 25 items. That's a whole lot of money. And, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that a lot of people don't have. So, it's crazy how things have just gotten this way, and the people, like I said, the people who this stuff affects the most are not even the people who really have a say in what happens. So,
And then, you guys have, there's like school lunches, and if your children go to daycare, there's daycare lunches, preschools, whatever the case may be. And, when it comes to school lunches, all I really know is, eating them because my kids aren't school age yet, but I can kind of get a feel for it because how much my son and my daughter eat combined, and then my husband, like, they would literally eat this house under the ground with how much they eat. And don't get me wrong, I eat a lot too. So we all eat a lot in this house. We are very hungry people in this house.
right,
So I can understand like how expensive that can be because I know what will last us and what won't.
right.
And it's super expensive.
Yeah, yes. So add to that, we talk about school lunches. Let's add a picky 6-year-old who's like, I don't want to eat school lunch. I want you to make my lunch. Because your lunch is free.
I can hear her saying in her voice, I don't want to eat school lunch today, mommy. I think I want you to make my lunch. And it's her asking for like the homemade, not the Uncrustables. What are they? Lunchables.
Yeah.
Her little Lunchables. She's so funny.
I tell you, and that's the thing. And then, or you have an 18-year-old who is like, what are we having for dinner today? And you say, oh, yada, yada, yada. Is that what we're having? So I sit down and I plan out this whole menu for the entire week. Everybody agrees. Yes, this is the menu. The day comes. Oh, what are we eating for dinner? Oh, we're eating so and so off the menu. My 18-year-old daughter. Well, I was thinking we could do like wings. And so just don't ask me no more. Don't ask me no more. So now every day I'd be like, nah, ask Jasmine. Let Jasmine make the menu because I'm not doing it. And I mean, they have a right to want what they want. But, a lot of times, especially when you're talking about wings are high as I don't know what, too. Wings are so high. It's crazy. I mean, we're struggling out here, okay? We're struggling. So then next we're going to talk about, even though we are struggling, we talk about how we're making it through. Because even though we're struggling, we're clearly making it through because we look healthy. The kids look healthy, okay? They well fed. So we'll talk about how we're making it through. All right, Shantae. So what are some things that you do that make, grocery shopping in this economic climate doable?
Okay, so I'll tell you guys exactly what we do. So, if you guys don't know how the pay works with the military, it's the 1st and the 15th of every month, and it's a couple days earlier depending on if the 1st or the 15th fall on a weekend, holiday, whatever the case may be. What I do, I sit there and plan out a menu from Monday to Sunday for 2 full weeks with Thursday on each week being leftovers because we always have leftovers from at least one of those meals of the week. And cooking 7 days a week, that's kind of crazy, especially with these two kids that I'm running around all day and trying to keep them from knocking themselves unconscious. Like some days I'm tired, so it's going to be leftovers. So normally it's always Thursdays are leftovers, but there are times where we like switch the days, or if we feel like eating something more than whatever's supposed to be that day, then we'll swap them. But I keep it in the notes tab and I share it with my husband. So there's not him at work. Oh, what are we eating today? What are we eating today? What are we eating? What's for dinner? Check the menu, sweetheart. It's right there on your phone. Check the menu, sweetheart. So I go and make that menu for the 2 full weeks, and then I go through each recipe and put in the grocery list what exactly we need. And between the commissary and Walmart and Sam's, those we look for the best prices. To be completely honest, we look for the best prices, and then there's just things that we go through too fast where we just have to get it at Sam's. So it's stuff like chicken broth and the what do you call it, the apple sauces, like stuff like that. We fly through them, so it's kind of a necessity to get it at Sam's, so you're not going literally every week. So you go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks, plan everything out, go through, make a grocery list, and stick to it. How we have to stick to it, we just have to pretend like we just don't have money whenever we feel like eating out, like when a burger, because especially since we got here, Whataburger, oh, man, had me in the chokehold when we first got here. We just have to pretend like we don't have the funds to eat out sometimes, because then once you fall into that, you're going to be spending more and more and more. And in this economy, the meals are becoming more and more and more, because it's $10 to get a meal for one adult. And that's crazy, because like me, my husband, and my 2 kids, that's like $35-$40 right there just off of one meal, as opposed to the $40 could have been split into groceries for multiple days instead of just the 40 that one day. Right. So making a list, and I wouldn't call it meal, I guess it'd be like meal planning, and I really just stick to it. I do my absolute very best to stick to it, and that's honestly how we make it work. And like I said, buying in the bulk, and we have a bunch of meat in the freezer, like chicken, ground beef, sausage. That's where we keep all the meat. We get all the meat at once, stick it in the freezer. I take it out the morning of whatever day, whatever we're supposed to be eating that day. I take it out of the freezer and drop it in the sink so it can thaw out during the day. And that has honestly helped a ton, and I will continue doing that going forward. I know that's what works, and as they say, don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Right. I know that's right. Us, we do pretty much the same thing like I was just talking about. We come up with meals for a week. We do a week at a time because, like I said, it's 6 of us. So, okay. Talking about pantry space and refrigerator space, 2 weeks worth of groceries is a lot. So we usually just do 1 week at a time. We go to Costco because most of us in the house love coconut water, and Costco's has the best coconut water, the best sugar-free coconut water, hands down. It's Costco. I love Costco. And then the price is really good also. You can get the big ones and the little ones.
I just want to say I really miss being close to a Costco.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know how spoiled I was back in Florida because we were within a decent driving distance to both.
Mm-hmm.
Now we only have Sam's that's like 5 minutes away. Okay, it's probably like 10. But Costco is like 2.5 hours from us, and I'm kind of throwing up about it.
Yeah.
Because I am sick. I've always liked Costco better anyway. That we only have Sam's as an option.
Right.
It's a little bit of resentment brewing in here. I miss having Costco. I just wanted to point that out really quick, because I was upset when I didn't have a Costco. I was truly upset.
Yeah, I love Costco. Also, from Costco we get snacks, like Shantae said. Things like applesauce, things like fruit snacks. We don't really get cereals from there anymore. They have Biscoff cookies, and the girls love Biscoff cookies. What? Yeah, they love Biscoff cookies. And now Publix sells the cookie butter. Publix sells Biscoff cookie butter. So, we get little things that we know the girls will enjoy that they'll eat for snacks. Fruits and stuff like that we'll get from Costco. But of course, that doesn't last, the entire time. So we'll end up going to Publix, going to Walmart. Usually what we do, we utilize Publix buy one, get one. And even if it's something that we only need one of, we can always put the other one away, put it in the deep freezer, whatever have you, for the next time. Because, buy one, get one free, honey. I'm about it. Another thing we do to help with our meal planning is that Publix used to have, which I haven't looked for them recently, so I don't know if they're still there, But Publix used to have the little recipe cards. And in their recipe cards, I mean, it tells you everything. And most of those recipes, I want to say all, but I'm not positive all, but most of them are pretty quick. Either you're putting them in a slow cooker and letting them do their thing, or they're really quick. And even if you do put them in a slow cooker, the part that you actually have to be actively cooking is not that long. So I love those recipes, and some of them are really, really good. So over the course of the week, I'll share some of those recipes with you and some pictures, because I probably have some somewhere. Because I know we just made some beef lettuce wraps the other day, so I'll share those.
One more thing I want to say about Publix. I'm not sure if they still do it anymore. Like my mom was talking about, she doesn't know if the recipe cards are still around or not. But I remember they used to put the recipe cards like where you would go to get a sample. They used to have like the entire like take home kits that had everything for that meal card in there. So if you guys have ever heard of like Hello Fresh or Every Plate, it was literally like that.
Mhm.
But you don't have to, have a subscription or do a certain amount of meals each week. Like it was literally just a take home kit that was ready to go, had everything in it, pre-measured portions. Because I did those a couple of times when we were in the apartment, and they were very decent. They were good. They were delicious. I want that in there just in case there's a Publix somewhere that still does it. But I know at one point the Publix there that we would call our Publix, they definitely did that, and I thought they were delicious.
Yeah, they still do it. They still do it, because I saw some when I went last week. The thing is, for us, because there's so many of us, we would have to buy multiple of those meals, and then at that point, then it cost wise, it doesn't make sense. Because usually their meals are for 2 or 4 people, so there's 6 of us. So then we'd have to either buy 3 2s or 2 4s, and then it's just it's too much. It gets to be too much. But they still. And for people who only have, 4 people in their family, who only need 4 servings or 2 servings, they're perfect. But for people with bigger families, we got to get the recipe card and do the doubling ourselves. Okay. So I mean, that's what, and those are some of the things that we do. So if there's something else that y'all do, or shoot, something that could help us, look, let us know. We talk about this community, honey. Help this community save some coins and some time, because who wants to be in the kitchen all day, every day? So yeah, so definitely if y'all have tips, tricks, suggestions, let us know. Let us know. Well, I talked a little bit about being part of a large family, but another thing is I'm allergic to milk and eggs. So we're talking about grocery prices already being high. Let's talk about these non-dairy milks. So here's the thing. The non-dairy milk's a little bit more pricey than dairy milk, okay? However, then yours truly has the nerve to like a certain type of non-dairy milk.
You talking about Planet Oat?
Planet Oat extra creamy, don't play with me.
Planet Oat, guys, the green little slip on the carton.
Yeah.
That's that. Don't the red one's cool too. That's
Yeah.
regular.
Yeah.
Creamy really does it.
Yeah.
That is what
it froths in the milk frother and everything. Like, it froths up really good. I'm gonna have to get one. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee one day. I'm gonna show it to y'all, because that Planet Oat extra creamy is the business. Now, for most other things, I have a non-dairy milk maker, and I will make my own soy milk. I'll make my own oat milk. We'll make our own almond milk, which almond milk is at the bottom of the non-dairy milks for me. I don't care for it like that. I don't like that almond taste.
I hate soy milk.
Yeah, if I don't have a choice, I'm gonna drink that almond milk. But if I have a choice, give me oat first and then soy, and then we could talk about almond if I absolutely have to. Well, sometimes I will get black coffee rather than get almond milk. I'll drink black.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it goes oat, coconut, almond, and soy. There's just something about soy that just grosses me out. I don't know. I really don't know what it is about soy milk, but I don't really like soy or almond milk. I don't really like either. But oat and coconut are definitely the top two for me. Like, if there's no oat milk, then I'll take coconut. And then if there's no coconut, I just don't want anything. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm so good.
Too. But yeah, almonds at the bottom for me. I'm cool with that. So yeah, I mean, so that's the thing, with all that stuff, having a large family, having special dietary needs, and then like Shantae, you have 2 toddlers. Toddlers are notoriously picky when it comes to eating. It's just extremely difficult. It's becoming more difficult to be out here grocery shopping for the family and keeping the budget and trying to keep the family healthy. It's becoming like it's a mismatch. So
that I'm very thankful that I was blessed with my kids because my kids are not picky. What's my eat anything. I have not come across anything that they will not eat to this day. Okay, well, I did see Luca pick off some pineapple on pizza the other day, but he likes pineapples. He just doesn't like them. Okay, to each their own. I think it's delicious, but to each their own. Okay, I won't make you eat it because he had a slice and I came back. There was a little pile of the pineapple just sitting in the corner. I was like, oh, okay. And my husband was like, yeah. So that's how you know. And I'm like, well, I'm not crazy. I still think it's good.
right.
Whether my not, but my kids, both of my kids, they will eat whatever. Like whatever for dinner, 9 times out of 10, that's what they're eating. So we're doing some chicken bacon ranch pasta. They'll eat it. And like they don't care how it looks, they don't care how it smells. Luca will come in, hey mom, it smells so good in here, and then just run off. And I'm just so lucky and so thankful that I was not blessed with picky kids because I would cry. I would really cry because I wouldn't know what to do. And I applaud the moms out there with picky kids. I applaud my mom because I know how my sisters are. I applaud them because my kids are not picky whatsoever. They see me eating it, they don't care what it is, they want it. And I thought it was just, a random, like, oh, my mom has it, I want it. But no, like they will actually sit there and eat it and then ask for some more. My kids are built just a smidge different, just a smidge.
Right.
They make up with it in their attitude though, because if you don't, my kids, a little touch and go when it comes to behavior. But that's a story for today.
We're all doing the best we can when it comes to our families. And, as being the mom of the family, the matriarch of the family, that's our place to hold the house together. And with grocery prices rising, prices of everything rising, it's become more and more difficult to do. But I will tell you, you got to remember that at the end of the day, you're doing the best you can. You're doing the best you can, and that is enough. And like I used to tell my kids when they were growing up, they would come home and they'd be like, well, I got a C in this class. And I'd be like, okay, but did you try your best? Yes. Okay, what else could you have done? I don't know. Exactly. So what you mad about? Cut it out. As long
Wait,
as you know the best. Huh?
tell them your famous line you would ask us.
What is it?
You would sit down. Well, tell me what you would like me to do about it. What do you want me to do? And they'll look at us. I don't know. And then you're like, okay. And then we're both just sitting there like, but at the end of the day, it's like that. You're trying your best. That's genuinely all you can do. If you tried your best, there's really nothing else you can do. Yeah. And it's like, it wasn't clicking in our heads then. So when she would ask us, what do we want her to do? And I'm like, good question. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else can be done at this point. Right. I don't know. Yeah. Which was, I get it now as an adult and as a mom. I get it now. Yeah. But like back, like, no, that's a good question because I don't know.
So I mean, that's it. You're can, and that's all we could do is the best we can. So the best you can is enough. Okay. So again, like we told you before, please, if you have like budget tips or go-to meals that you use, which ours, of course, our go-to meal is spaghetti. Okay. Everybody loves spaghetti. Spaghetti is always a hit. It's easy. It's quick. It's relatively inexpensive, and you can't mess it up. For real, for real. Like, if you mess up spaghetti, then...
Ooh, I've seen it happen. Ours is definitely like chicken and rice and like some sort of vegetable that I can find because we always have a ton of chicken somehow. Whether it's thighs, breasts, whatever, we always have a ton. And we always have a ton of rice. Rice, I won't even say is that expensive, especially for like the bigger bags because we go through rice quite a bit. So it's chicken and rice, whether I do the chicken different types of way, like I'll mix the chicken and rice together. I'll do barbecue chicken with rice on the side. Sometimes I'll even switch it up and do mashed potatoes if we don't feel like rice one day. Like I'm always just going to make something shake with the chicken, but chicken and rice is normally always our go-to because it takes about half an hour. You have both of them going at the same time. It takes about half an hour altogether. It's fast.
Yeah.
It takes probably about the same amount of time as spaghetti does. It's fast. It's easy. Not very difficult to mess up. Just make sure you cook your chicken all the way. I guess. There's really no other tips. Don't give anybody salmonella.
Right.
That's
Right.
that you can. But it's easy and it's fast. It's reliable. Definitely all reliable.
Yeah.
These days, you just gotta.
Y'all all eat potatoes. Y'all all eat mashed potatoes.
Wait, huh?
Your little sister doesn't eat mashed potatoes.
Oh yes, because she doesn't like. So she likes potatoes, but not in mashed potato form because she'll eat fries
and wedges. I think it's a texture
Yeah.
thing. I think it's a texture thing. And that's one thing I can say for all of y'all. Y'all are funny about textures. All four of y'all are funny about.
I don't do cake. I don't like cream of wheat.
Yeah.
I don't like bananas because of the taste and texture. So that was just a double whammy right there. I had no shot unless it's like, blended up in a smoothie or something, I'm fine. But just a straight up banana, I can't do it. I cannot. I will literally gag looking at it. I can't. I always person Jello. I don't like Jello. I hate the texture of Jello.
Yeah. See, so I mean, everybody's go-to meal is going to be different, So let us know what your go-to meal is too. So we're looking for tips, tricks, and what your go-to meal is, because then maybe we could steal it, and then we can add to our go-to meal repertoire. Okay. But yeah, I think that's it for us today, right?
I would say so. I think we definitely covered our 3 parts.
Yeah, we've yapped. We've yapped quite a bit. So thank you for listening to us yap. Okay, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. But seriously, let us know. Comment and let us know your tips, your tricks, your go-to meals, and anything that you're doing that makes things easier for you. Because we're doing what we're doing, and it's just what we've always been doing, and it's working well enough. So if you have any tips and tricks, let us know. Share them with the community. And what is it, Shantae?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
No, I can't get it right. So
that's my favorite part, and I think it's just because it ties her up. Because I wish we had bloopers from when we first started doing this, back when I was still living there. All she used to like and comment. What is it? Every single time, it cracked me up every single time. So that definitely became my favorite part to say at the end because I always think back at her from the jump. It's and what do we tell them? Huh? What do we tell the people? It's so funny. It is.
I was struggling.
So it's okay.
Yeah. But thank you for joining us this week. Join us again next week where we will converse about something else. Because we always got stuff to yap about. So next week we'll be yapping about something different. But in the meantime, again, like Shantae said, what is it? Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes. See? Guys. Lucky.
All right. And thank you for joining us. And then we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning into the Quimby Chronicles Momcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and join us next time as we tackle more of the beautiful chaos that is motherhood.